Which one's the highway? Greed or need? Love or hate? Mouth or feet? Choose your fate. I'm living in two worlds. I'm living in two worlds. Hello, welcome to Robert's Reader Room and Reviews. Good to be back to give another wonderful review. I'm still doing my History Month read in honor of History Month. This made my fourth book. I've been reading since the last. I started on the 28th, a little earlier of last month. So this made the fourth book. And I would just like to say this author here, I hold dear to my heart. I love her to death. It was a point in my life when I was like not really I was reading, but I was like losing focus. I had other things going on, and I almost stopped reading. And until I picked up one of her books, and I just fell in love with reading again because she's different from any other author. She makes you think out of the box. She's very hardcore, and I'm not gonna try to dress it up or anything. So if you have a weak stomach, um, all her books are not. I can't really think of what I can recommend to you. Maybe that I can think of that's not too hard. I would say would be um, what I can think of. The Queens of DC is one of them. That was it's kind of like compared to some of her other books. Um, but I'm talking about my love, my true Mama T, Nefarious. I just read it. By T Styles. I just want to say it was a wonderful book. Um, it deals with slavery from back in the day to modern today. It really made me think because I was thinking, I was like, wow, reading this book, I was like, this really probably exists today. It deals with Zoe for short, who was with this family, Xavier, um, in Texas, and she was 12 years old. She was sleeping with the master, what I would call him, and her his wife knew about it and everything, and she wound up having kids by him, and they was just treated to me they was treated bad, but she did what she slept with him. She kept sleeping with him to keep the family together because she didn't want her kids to be separated from her. Then you have Celeste, who turned out to be one of the another slaves within the house, like a head slave, and she was mistreating her and everything. Come to find out, long story short, they wound up escaping from the house and everything, and Celeste wound up being her mother, and she gave her a letter and told her what to do. So they wound up from Texas to Maryland, D.C. area. They wound up meeting this guy by the name of Morgan, and he wound up giving them a ride all the way to D.C., the Maryland area where he's living. He wound up being a drug dealer into drugs and everything. He wound up being kind of shady. He has a partner by the name of Kennard, who I love. I love Kennard. I really did. I liked his character. He was my one of the favorite ones out of all of the characters within the book. And he wound up Morgan wound up being a crook, really. And but I would say this Kennard got the best of him. You have to read the book. And I would like to say my least favorite characters. I could not stand Emma because, for one, she fell in love with this character Foster, who's was white, of course, and he
just like he taught her to read, and she thought she was superior because she could read. Her mother couldn't read. She wanted to say her mother slept, and she had a lot of bitterness because of something that took place that her mother witnessed. I'm not gonna tell you. You need to read the book. Um, but I feel like get over it. I mean, your mother, she could do only so much. I mean, yes, true enough, it was wrong, but get over it. She fell in love with this foster guy, and she thought he was gonna be with her and everything. And when they escaped, he let him, the family stay with him for like a night or two. But he told her that he wasn't into her like that. He was thinking about his money. He said he could never be with a nigger. And that kind of boy, when I tell you when he said that, I wanted to throw my Kindle. Oh, I wanted to throw my Kindle. It burns me up so hot. But then, she finally figured it out. He wasn't the one for her, and she was heartbroken. But she got what she deserved, I guess you would say. Um, but I would just like to say overall, this book was really good. It had murders in the book. I will say that. But my thing with the book was I didn't like was when they got to D.C. Maryland area how Kennard's sister, I cannot stand her. I'm not even gonna say her name. That's how much I don't like her. Um, and Zoe wound up telling her story about how she was a slave when they was drinking one night. Went over to Africa, brought these African girls over here, really blindsided, telling them to come over to the American Dream, and they wound up putting these girls in the shop that Kennard's sister owned, her hair salon, working them like slaves and everything, and wasn't paying them, mistreating them real bad. And it just kind of burnt me up to see how black is having black slaves in the modern day. And you know what? And you know what? I kind of think that it could take place. It's probably taking place right now. That's why I love T Style so much. She write about things that's happening now in the world that other authors probably won't even touch or talk about. That's why I have mad love for her and the whole cartel publication. So I just want to say that the book was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking for her newest book that's about to come out. I want to pronounce this. I don't want to say it wrong, so let me look it up real quick. But the book was really good, and I felt like that some of the Clayton. Don't let me forget him. I cannot stand him. He was lazy. He felt like everything needed to be handed out to him, and I'm so glad that Bernard Kennard, I'm sorry, I said Bernard. Kennard, Kennard and Kennard and I can't even say his name. Had a special relationship with I'm trying to find this. I think it's in the way the wind in the whore the wind blows. Anyway, I think that's the name of the book that's coming out. It's coming out. I'm trying to find it. The first of next month, I want to say it's coming out. But some of my favorite parts of the book was like when let me see, can I find it? Oh, this was I was gonna say was Tristan. Um, I liked him too. He had his issues with you know. I felt like he was trying to please everyone and everything. He had issues with his sexuality and everything. But overall, I felt like that he what he did to his brother Clayton. Oh wow. You gotta read the book because that right now that was I was like that's a T style classic for you. It really is. But I just want to say I really enjoyed the book and I give it 5 stars approved. I've already did my review and everything, um, and I just look forward to reading the newest book that's coming from her in next month. I like how also how she brought in the characters from Pretty King, and she brought in 9 toward the end. That'll be interesting to, and I know it's probably not because this seems like it's a standalone book, but put the three together into one book. But the book I'm talking about, the whore that wind blows my way, the whore that blew, the whore the wind blew my way. I'm sorry, it's about bedtime. Gotta go to work in the morning. Um, but I just want to say, it was a good book, and I really enjoyed it. And I love my T style. Mama T is what I call her because she has a reading group on Facebook. It's her Twisted Baby. I'm one of her Twisted Babies, of course. And I just want everyone to have a great night. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. It's Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. If you would like, I'm also on Facebook. It's open. You can come in. Um, if you got a question, you want to drop a book review, or just a name of a book I may haven't read, feel free to do so. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night and be safe. Bye.